It's the country's #1 RVing radio show, sponsored by RVTravel.com, with your host, Alan Warren, the RV Wingman.
All right, so I get an email the other day from a very unhappy RVer. This guy was unhappy before he emailed, and then when I responded to him, he was even more unhappy. So I invited him to be on the show and visit about a situation, but he declined the offer. This guy is a first-time RV owner. He said that he has done his homework, and he bought a 2015 Class C motor coach. Obviously, it's used. It's 2015. He said it only had 6,000 miles on it. It was a one-owner unit, and he said the owner seemed like an honest guy, and he didn't use the RV at all for more than a year. So it had been sitting there, hadn't moved at all. This unhappy RVer bought the RV in Florida and then headed all the way out to Arizona to do some boondocking and spend the winter. Well, along the way, this guy has 2 blowouts, and now he says that his coach has got water leaks everywhere, and he thinks that he has been bamboozled, and he wants to know what he can do about his situation. So let's see. It's a 4 or 5-year-old motorhome, almost no miles on it. It's been sitting in the same spot for more than a year, cooking, as I say, in the Florida sunshine, and he just completed a drive of about 2,000 miles. So I'm going to read you my response to his email, and this is what I wrote him back, and I want to hear what you have to say, what you think about what I'm saying. If you think I'm being a jerk, it's not my intent. So here's my response. Mr. Toronto, thanks for your note. Sorry to hear of the problems you're having with your new baby. I know how frustrating it can be to buy something and learn there are some issues that need to be dealt with. In a nutshell, it sounds like you most likely got a pretty good deal on your motorhome. 6,000 miles and only 5 years old. Sounds like it's been doing a lot of sitting, not very much RVing. If you only had 2 blowouts on your trip, and if you're still on the original factory tires, you should consider replacing the remaining tires ASAP. Long story short, your tires may look good. They do not sound like they're roadworthy, though. The leaks you mentioned, are they plumbing leaks, roof leaks, both? Water damage is one of the most costly things that can happen to an RV, so thinking ahead, being proactive is really important. After driving 2,000 miles, I'm not surprised at the leaks that you have leaks, and probably several of them. The bad news? Well, you may have others in your near future. The benefits of buying a used RV are many. The drawbacks from buying a used RV, especially one that has been sitting in storage, include the exact things you are experiencing. My advice, replace the other tires, check every place you can think of where the water fittings or connections could have a leak, repair them if they're loose, and do a thorough roof inspection now. You mentioned boondocking. Boondocking can wreak havoc on an RV. Once you travel off the pavement, things can go south in a hurry. My bottom line, welcome to owning an RV. The problems you are experiencing can be frustrating, but they can also be resolved with a little time, generally at a minor cost, and with a little bit of elbow grease. Thanks for reaching out. Have fun in Arizona. Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. So was that rude? Was that ugly? What do you think, Jumpin' John? I don't think it was.
No, I think it was direct and to the point.
I mean, I think it was. But get this. This is the email that I got back from Mr. Toronto. Wingman, you're telling me that these leaks and blowouts are my fault and to expect more if I don't buy new tires? Exclamation point. And these problems are all my fault. Lots of exclamation points. I am of the school where I do not lie to someone when I'm trying to sell an item. It is obvious to me that the seller lied about the condition of his RV. Believe me, I am not one of those people who abuses things, and the RV's never been off the paved road since I bought it. 2 blowouts were bad enough, then the water leaks, and you act like it's just another day in paradise. What a joke. M. Toronto. Okay. So what do you think? Mr. Toronto, I did not say it's your fault, but I do believe that it's your responsibility. Maybe the guy you bought it from, maybe he was a shyster, but I doubt it. Maybe. But as a buyer, it's your responsibility, and that is just a fact. Hell, you bought a 5-year-old RV. You know, I mentioned this email because to me it's an example of somebody who only thinks that they did their homework before buying. He's probably the kind of person that wants to get a steal on an RV, but who doesn't? But then pitches a hissy fit when the first thing goes wrong. We all want a good deal. We do. Don't we? I say this with all due respect, and I mean this, that more often than not, when I hear a story about like this one, I believe that many of the issues that the RVers encounter could be prevented or at least minimized if every single one of us accepted the responsibility for our actions and our inactions. I'll bet you Mr. Toronto didn't get a third-party inspection. I bet you he didn't do quite as much homework before buying as he should have. I'll even bet that being a first-time RV owner, his level of expectation might just have been a little bit too high. Come on, people. It's a used RV that's hardly ever been driven. It's 5 years old and cooked in the Florida heat. I say this often, that I take my position behind this microphone seriously. Nobody is more of a consumer advocate for RVers than I am, but for God's sake, to expect to buy a used RV, or heck, even a new one, and not have to maintain it, to not expect to have occasional issues is not being very realistic. To lash out at the seller and blame them for your situation or jump on me for giving you my opinion, I don't know. I better stop right there. You know what? One more thing. Mr. Toronto says that he plans on doing some boondocking. Well, here's one final bit of advice. Prepare for future leaks and squeaks and overall maintenance issues if you plan on going off the pavement. If you think that things in your RV are rattling and coming loose while driving on a highway, just wait till you hit those gravel and dirt roads. You'd best be prepared for additional situations that will require some maintenance and or repairs. Okay, I'm finished. So, what do you think? What do our listeners think? Do you think that I was too hard on this guy, or do you think that he was trying to blame somebody else for something that he should have been responsible for? If you would, please call us. Leave a message on our voicemail 24/7. And can you put the number up there, Jumpin' John? 1330 Wingman is the number. Give us a call. Let us know what you think about it right now.